Welcome back to DreamHack Winter 2018. We are heading into round number 2 of the Swiss for today, and bringing you all of the action for these matches will be Falcone and Lorinda on the desk. How are you doing, Falc? That first round was quite substantial, to say the least.
Do you know what? Honestly, Cora, I had a great time casting the first 2 series today. They were incredibly close series, both of them going down to the wire. Some of those games had some pretty insane moments. I'm just looking forward to the rest of today.
Absolutely. And Lorinda, you got a nice backstage viewing of all of the action that's happened so far. How are you feeling being back in Sweden?
Yeah, I absolutely love it here. This is the event that sort of got me going in my career, and I still think that every DreamHack in Sweden is just as good as the last. It's just insane.
I mean, this is where DreamHack was born. This is where all of the action began. It is an absolutely huge LAN event. Lorinda and I were taking a walk around the venue, but we had some time just seeing all of the players gearing up and bringing in all of their equipment for the weekend. It's a really special place to be. But we are about ready to get into round number 2 of the day. Our first matchup is going to be Zananananan taking on Boarcontrol. Boarcontrol, obviously a very talented Hearthstone player from the UK, and Zananananan, the man with the most difficult to spell name, even though it is in fact only 3 letters.
It's just how many of
5
letters?
5 of
That's
each
the question.
5 of each pair?
I believe. I haven't checked, so if that's wrong, then I'm
And
dumb.
it does end with an N, right?
Yeah.
So it's Zananananan.
We had a song to illustrate. I don't know if we still have it.
It was amazing.
Cora, you were saying Zananana. It's Zananananan. It ends with an N.
Well, in the
She's doing a
song,
French
it
accent.
sounds, yes,
But
sure.
why are you doing a French accent?
Look, man, I don't need to explain myself to you. I don't get paid to
I just
to
enjoyed watching
explain
the face
myself to
expressions
you.
then while you were trying to work out what to reply.
I don't want to
I'm
cast
telling
with
ya,
this man if he's in this sort of mood.
I'm telling you, in the song, it sounds like it ends with but
It does.
I suppose there's an N on the end. We can go ahead and take a look at the bands here for these 2 gentlemen. We've thoroughly gone over the analysis of the names here, but now we're going to actually have to do our jobs and analyze the decks that they have brought to the table. Zananananan has his Warlock band away. Boarcontrol has the Rogue band, and I believe that is a Quest Rogue for Boarcontrol, correct?
It was a Quest Rogue,
It is,
and Zanananan's Druid is Togwaggle Druid, I believe, which means that he's still not bothered about the new interaction where the Togwaggle can now steal actual good minions that have been buffed. And so, despite that change, Boarcontrol's kept his decks the same. He did have a chance to resubmit, and it's still getting banned, so good call by Boarcontrol.
Yeah, I think the Quest Rogue getting banned is a big win. What does that leave us with on both sides then, Falc?
It leaves us with the Zananananan on the Druid, as Neil said. It's Togwaggle Druid. We've got Dead Man's Hand Warrior.
Woo!
And Death Rattle Hunter. Luckily, no Shuttlewalks on the other side, so it's not going to be a really long series. Boarcontrol also bringing the Even Warlock himself. He's had the Quest Rogue banned. He's got Death Rattle Hunter, I believe.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, it is. And also the Token Druid.
Yeah, always have to check when it's Boarcontrol and Hunter, because he does love that secrety, aggro-y mess of a Hunter that he helped to popularise.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, as soon as I see Hunter, I generally assume Death Rattle Hunter. And then I think, oh, wait, Boarcontrol? Subject 9? Maybe? No, okay, that's fine.
It actually looks like it's the Cube Warlock for Boarcontrol, which makes sense. He's been testing that list on his stream quite a bit over the last week or so. I know he was doing a lot of his DreamHack prep rather publicly, which was interesting to watch. I'm sure the audience enjoyed it. And now we can actually ask y'all at home who you are rooting for, who you think is going to win this series. Both of these players, very talented, a lot of DreamHack experience. Is it going to be hashtag Zanan? We made it easy for you. Or hashtag BoarC. Make sure you're following DreamHack HS, and in the chat, go ahead and hashtag Zanan or hashtag BoarC to cast your votes.
That's 2 pairs ending with an N,
yes,
just to be clear.
It is, with an N. And we are just going to go ahead and jump right into it. Falc, who do you think is going to win this one?
Boarcontrol.
You are not biased at all. Mister, if the entire tournament is British, we can't possibly lose.
Sounds about right. I normally do these predictions. I should do them based on lineups, but I never do. I always do it based on DreamHack experiences and results. They've both got really good past histories, but I think Boar, especially the first half this year, has just had a fantastic Hearthstone year, so I'm just going to predict Boar to do well. Nothing to do with the fact he's British at all.
I'm actually going to support the clean sweep here. I think Boarcontrol is... he's been on top of his game this year. Watching his streams, he seems like his approach to the meta right now is very good. He has a very solid understanding of all the decks that he's brought, and, you know, I think he's formidable.
Zanananan's a great player.
He is.
We've seen him at all sorts of DreamHacks and tour stops around the world this year.
Yeah, he's played a lot less than Boar, though, hasn't he, this year? He's sort of
Most
dipping
people
in and
have
out.
played a lot less than
This is also true.
this year.
This is also true.
Well, let's see what you at home have decided. Is it hashtag Zanananan or is it hashtag Boarcontrol?
Wow.
It is overwhelmingly in support of Boarcontrol. I would hope that there's some Zanananan fans out there because he is...
23% of them.
Sure. Some other than that. He's a great player. He's a player we've seen quite a bit in DreamHack events over the years, like Lorinda said, just not as much this year. So getting to see him on stream for this series is going to be exciting, but the players are ready. So without further ado, let's get Swiss round number 2 underway. It is Zanananan taking on Boarcontrol.
I feel a little bit mean there, Lorinda. Just the three of us.
I mean, that's the meanest you've ever been, and it was like the tiniest bit mean.
Well, to be fair,
so no wonder you feel really bad, because it's just not your normal style.
It's not even my fault. I was the first person to say Boarcontrol. You all backed me up. Now it's like bullying.
Yeah, well, you know.
And now I'm part of it. And it's because of you two.
Well,
and Twitch chat.
Cora just has that effect on people, I'm afraid. I used to be nice too.
All right, we're going to jump straight into Dead Man's Warrior
versus Q-Block. Take a seat, Dan. We might be here for a moment or two.
Good idea, yeah.
Dead Man's Warrior. We don't see... This is a deck that I think you could easily be led to believe doesn't see tournament play, because we never show it. It's usually there lurking in tournaments, slowing down Swiss rounds and stuff somewhere, but it doesn't always make it to the stream. But we are going to get to see some good old-fashioned grindy Warrior versus pretty grindy Warlock at the end of the day as well.
Didn't Maverick win DreamHack Tour with Dead Man's Hand?
I blocked that event out. But yes, he did, and he piloted it expertly. And one of the things we always talk about bringing this to a Swiss tournament, especially when Maverick won in Tour, is the mental fortitude you need to finish your round, be told you are the last person to finish, go sit down, the next draw's up. Because, you know, as soon as the last game's finished, they do the draw for the next round, then we have sort of 10 minutes or so. To do that for 2 days and then win a tournament with it is just more tiring. It's not a meme. People who bring aggro lineups do have more time to rest and recuperate.
That's true.
And nobody ever believes it until they come to their first event, and then they're like, oh wow, those 5 games of Hearthstone were so tiring.
There's a lot that goes into these arguments where you say aggro decks take more skill. No, control decks take more skill. They take a very different type of skill. The control decks take more of an endurance type of skill, especially when you're at an event. It's not quite the same on the ladder, but like, firstly, learning how to play a control deck efficiently because of the sheer amount of time that it takes, and then having the stamina to play the control deck consistently, it's tough. Boarcontrol, though, as usual, a little bit more of an aggressive lineup. Not an aggro lineup by any means.
Yeah, not by his normal standards, yeah, but...
But as you would expect, Boarcontrol is the aggressive player in this pairing.
One thing that's interesting here for me with Boarcontrol as well, and I think it's how he's developed as a player over the last 12 months. He used to bring... I mean, it used to be something we used to talk about a lot, the best 4 decks according to HS Replay.
Right.
Like, that's what he would do. He'd play them incredibly well. He'd do very well with that. This is nothing like the best 4 decks according to HS Replay, in my opinion. This is a lineup that is built as a really good lineup for last hero standing. Lots of counter potential. You know, Quest Rogue is always the key to that giveaway, and you know, just what he thinks is right for the job. And what is right for the job is going to be difficult to predict this tournament, because we saw a lot of Zerix cloning Priest, and we saw a lot of even Paladin, things you don't run into that often on ladder.
I just want to point out real quick, because you mentioned how Boarcontrol strategy a lot of the time is the best decks from Hearthstone Replay. That's not as simple as what those of you back home, I expect, would do, which is go on HS Replay, look at the top 3 decks, slam them in a lineup. Like, it does go a level deeper than that. When you look at a website like HS Replay, you have to do the research as well. You have to understand the numbers that you're looking at and then use that to create the lineup. And that's what Boarcontrol's been very good at doing.
Obviously, in this particular matchup, one of the advantages Boar has is you just have I mean, forget the fact he's got a giant on 4, which is obviously the dream. he just has so much time to set up against Deadman's, which sort of durdles around doing nothing for so long.
It does durdle, doesn't it?
It really does. And so, despite the fact, the Giant is dealt with, he is going to be able to set these cubes up for the future. He's even got Gul'dan in hand. This is looking so good for him already.
I'm not really sure what the Warriors' strategy is in the long term.
Don't die and kill them.
Computing.
I mean, Vor's made the very sensible decision not to draw his skull here and get it Harrisoned. So even that, Zananananan will be pretty sad that Skull wasn't there.
I've got to tell you, it was a little bit of a surprise to me when I came here and found out from the players, oh yeah, Deadman's Hand Warrior, expect to see a lot of that today.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that coming in. But then the players I was talking to were saying, yeah, they play Mara and the Fox, they gain infinite amounts of armor. Zanananan's list does not run Mara and the Fox. It's literally just a deck full of just outlasting the opponent.
Yeah, I mean...
mentally and physically.
There was so much going on in the last tour stop, as I was just discussing, that making a lineup for this one's very interesting, because the meta, weirdly enough, considering the current ladder state of meta, which I don't think anyone's denying is been similar for some time, the tournament meta is actually really diverse right now. Because what happened is people had established the best 4 decks, give or take. And in Atlanta, everyone just attacked that lineup and suddenly just blew it all apart. And we have an incredibly diverse meta, which is really strange. So yeah, Deadman seems to be the deck of choice for many, hence the very long round 1. Well, this is part of his thing. Let's get some value going. You're not going to win it with armor. You're not going to win it with chilling. Let's see if you can get yourself some value, so you can get yourself some good mechs on board.
In a deck where, in a warrior deck where you do not have the tank up hero power, slamming Dr. Boom as early as possible does look like the way to go.
Yeah, and it's still very hard to see how he's actually going to get something fantastic out of this, but it's a start. Oh, here comes a lot of damage in the next couple of turns, though.
Yeah, we got cubes, we got princes, we got faceless manipulators, and Spirit Singer Umbra.
These are the situations I associate with Boarcontrol being incredibly good, by the way.
Okay.
Where there's no immediately obvious play. You're planning for the next 2 or 3 turns ahead. And so you have to decide sort of right now you're making... He's very good at these paths, the divergent path decisions.
I think this is somewhat obvious, just because I'm looking at the deck list, there's no silence in Zanananan's warrior deck.
Yeah, that helps.
So just plonking this cube on the board, Zananananan has to deal with this and deal with both Doom Guards. If he does not do that, which is very unlikely, then Boarcontrol's Doom Guards can go crazy. Look at next turn, he's got Umbra plus Prince Taldarum. The Death Rattle would go off immediately, and there's 2 more Doom Guards.
And the turn after, if he wants to wait, he can go for Umbra and Cube, and just all hell's going to break loose the next couple of turns. Faceless, Taldarum. He's got so many options for how to use this hand. And that's something that the Cube block doesn't always have. It quite often has more of a holding pattern hand. This is just the old-fashioned day 1 dog kills you with Doom Guards hand.
Yeah, not a Void Lord in sight, and Boarcontrol's not going to have to play a Void Lord at any point. He can play Gul'dan on turn 10, probably summon 7 Doom Guards the way this is going.
Yeah, and that'll be pretty grim for Zananananan. I'm going to have to call him Zan or something, because I can't keep saying that.
I mean, Umbra plus the Prince just looks incredible here, doesn't it?
It just looks really good.
It's just a snap play.
I mean, it looks like a snap play, and I don't totally disagree, but there was also Faceless as well as an option, and then do the Umbra play the next turn, but this is so dumb.
That's true, that's true.
This is so much dumb. Yeah, I mean, it's a snap play. It's a clear play.
I mean, he did snap play it. There
his
was
hand was so good.
Slightest moment of hesitation. And that was almost like, I want to play this. Oh, wait, I should probably look at my hand first. No, I'm going to play it. How does Zananananan ever deal with this?
With his next deck.
Yeah.
Because this deck is donezo.
Like if he brawls now, best case, there's 2 Doom Guards and 1 cube on the board. Oh no, he can hero power then brawl, so best case there's a cube. Worst case there's 3 Doom Guards.
Yeah, and best case for him is there's no Gul'dan. Yeah, that's his dream right now, is Gul'dan doesn't bring back all these Doom Guards and I don't die on turn 10. Reality of the situation, a little bit different.
Oh, he won the brawl! Sort of, but next turn it gets faceless, and there's going to be even more Doomguards.
Or cubed.
Or cubed, or both. Not both.
Well, yeah, next turn could be both, but that's probably just
next turn is Gul'dan and win the game. That's what next turn
It's
is.
so ridiculous.
This is one of the most absurd cube lock games I've seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean, this is how the deck was originally built. We must remember that. That is how the deck... it was Dog who basically popularized it or even built it. Like, the deck was just Doomguard, OTK, weird, new, funky deck.
Did it even run Void Lords originally?
I don't think it did. It was just literally Doomguard. It very, very quickly developed into something else. But this is what the deck was very originally designed to do.
That is the... Okay, compared to any of the games that I've seen so far today, it was pretty one-sided.
It really was, and that's the end of that Dead Man's Warrior. Much to the upset of everybody in the studio.
Both silently sighed a big sigh of relief. That's great. Boarcontrol going to carry on playing his Cube Warlock versus Zananananan. His remaining decks, his Warlock was banned, right? So that leaves him... Oh, it's on the screen. So that leaves him with his Death Rattle Hunter and his Togwaggle Druid.
See what he decides to queue up into this. It's probably the only time that casters are truly biased is when one player is playing Dead Man's Warrior.
Now, I mean...
It's like, we don't mind our jobs, but we'd rather finish today.
Or this year, even. No, I mean, like, I go along with the meme, but I actually do quite enjoy watching the decks.
Oh, I mean,
like
it's
that,
great to see. I like to see all the diversity of decks, but if the tournament is riddled with Dead Man's Warrior, that's when it becomes you know, we've seen enough of that for one lifetime. But yeah, definitely seeing it a few times is fine. It's when Mavericks winning tour was a clinic in how to play the deck, as the French and Maverick community often do.
Boarcontrol looking like he's just snap mulliganing everything. What do you think he's looking for here, Lorinda? Do you think he's looking for... Oh, he's just unmulliganed two of the cards. Do you think he's looking for the weapon more than anything else?
I mean, it would help. Interesting that he hasn't currently got the Giant in his opening decisions. But you do like to throw your opponent off. They can see when you hover over cards, so that can also be a thing.
What I wouldn't give to be inside Boarcontrol's head right now, as he just like...
terrifying
as he just snap mulliganed everything, then decided, actually, I want to keep the Librarian and the Spellstone. Corpse Taker, do I keep it? No, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, okay.
This is the indecisiveness when he hasn't got Billy the Cat to help him.
Billy the Cat, a vital part of Boarcontrol's brain.
Definitely a vital part of his stream. So Boar is going for as much early stuff as he can get going. Well,
kind of awkward. Drawing two demons back to back there.
Yeah, suddenly changes if he draws Skull though, doesn't it? That's always the sticking point. You don't quite know what you want until you've seen the entire composition of your turn 4, turn 5 hand.
This is bad for lackeys, good for skulls. Well, it's not bad for lackeys yet until he draws the other two demons, so it's fine.
Obviously a luxury the Hunter has here that it doesn't have against normal even lock is it can just press that hero power button. Not going to be scared of any hooked Reavers just messing you up. So every 2 points of damage to this sticks.
Just sort of rare, completely just pass turn for Boarcontrol.
Okay. Now he has some stuff. I imagine this is a long think of a turn. Not necessarily for what he's going to do now, but how do you want to plan your next 3 or 4 turns? Having
drawn the Ziliax, this Corpse Taker is much weaker than it looks, as I believe it just got Taunt.
Right.
It's a 4-mana 3/3 with Taunt.
Wow. Sounds like the sort of card I would design.
Okay. What would it be called?
Taunt Man.
Yeah, it fits.
Already feeling the pressure here, though. He has got a lot of options in the next few turns, but he's got to get there. Obviously, the dream is to get yourself to this Void Lord and not get it silenced. But the Hunter's just got an amazing start here, and Boar's going to be under a lot of pressure.
Cubing an egg, particularly good against these Control Warlock decks as well, because it plays around Defiles and Hellfires and Godfreys.
Yeah, it hits them hard and it hits them quick before they can get stabilized.
Actually, Boarcontrol's not even running Godfrey in this cube block.
There answers the perennial question of must you run a Godfrey?
Imagine a control Warlock deck that's so good and jam-packed with cards that you can't fit in Lord Godfrey.
Yeah, we don't see that card that much these days because Control Lock is kind of meh. Not in vogue. In vogue? On vogue? Whatever.
We saw it in the last series, played by a warrior.
I mean, why not? Seems a good warrior card. Oops.
That seems like a good hunter card.
It does against a 3-2 when you want to start hitting your opponents.
Keep in mind here that Zananananan mulliganed this away as well. It's come back right on cue.
Yeah, perfect timing for him. And he's trying to weigh through Boar's options here. Okay.
Oh,
That's something else that Boarcontrol has...
this play!
Something else that he's actually learned through the year is that little bit of sort of cheeky charisma.
Yeah.
He used to be very, very sort of dry when he was playing, which also used to put him in a place where he wasn't thinking clearly. But yeah, that is so ridiculous.
I mean, the most ridiculous part is that if Zananananan doesn't deal with the Umbra right now, the same thing just happens again when the cube dies.
Yeah, except the board would probably explode. Yeah. But yeah, like you say, he's got to deal with all this stuff and the Umbra.
Remember back day one of the Witchwood... Remember back day one of the Witchwood expansion when Disguised Toast broke the game because it looked like he had too many Shadowwalks on the board?
Yeah.
Boar's about to do this with Death Rattle cards.
Imagine if there's an extra layer to that and you could get like 5/5 Devil Swords with Death Rattle out of... It's like infinite.
Zananananan has to deal with the Umbra immediately because there's another cube in Boarcontrol's hand. Like there's still all sorts. Boarcontrol has Facelesses in his deck.
But he has to, I mean, the thing is in the Hunter Mirror, I know it's not a Hunter Mirror, but it's looking like one.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the 5/5s down is a massive favourite. And Boar's managed to do that. And look at his backup. Like, he's got proper warrior cards, Warlock cards as backup as well. He's just going to run Zananananan out of resources here.
You really struggled with that, didn't you?
I decided I was going to cut him short every time and then got halfway through and realised I wasn't doing that. And this one player has just put Boar in a fantastic spot.
I was talking about how good it was that Zananananan cubed the egg earlier, but I was like, well, Umbra, that is just insane, and so is this. How does a hunter deal with a board full of 5/5s? I guess with Bloatbat and Poisonous, and that's it.
That's about it in this current iteration of Hunter, at least.
But not with 8 mana.
Yeah. This looked like being a really slow series. I may have changed my opinion on that. This just doesn't seem fair sometimes.
Which tracks to follow?
We did genuinely when we saw the deck lists and saw that we were starting off with a series that had Dead Man's Hand Warrior in. We thought, well, let's buckle in. It's going to be a long one.
We told people to, you know, get popcorn, get their coffee, go and get a cup of tea, whatever. Those people have missed the first 2 games.
They're still making
Sorry,
their tea.
people. You'll have to check the VODs. I mean, sure. You kill a thing. Well, this is just going to be the end because Boar has the Doomguard in hand as well. None of this is going to make any difference. Here comes the Doomguard, 2-0 to Boarcontrol, and the UK are doing just fine. Thank you very much.
something, it's coming home?
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm the last person to make any sort of football-related meme.
You're not. You just did it, and you're not going to be able to backtrack on it now, Dan.
But there you go, Boarcontrol making Q-Block look even more disgusting than I actually think it is at the moment.
It's a weird deck because it never got less disgusting, really. Apart from there were nerfs, but apart from that, it was still pretty good. And then it just Evenlock took over in terms of tournament meta.
All right. Well, I like to mention this at least once every time I cast a DreamHack or a Last Hero Standing tournament.
Okay.
And that is, when you lose a game, when you lose the first game, you then counterpick. And then when you lose that counterpick, you feel bad. You don't like being in that spot. And Zananananan certainly doesn't like being in this spot.
He does not want to be here.
And if he could see Boarcontrol's hand, he'd like it even less.
Yeah, Boar's in a great spot here, obviously. This is not a good matchup at all for Zan.
Sharp to the point.
Sharp to the point. Bit like how this game's going. Got a bit of ramp, obviously.
No.
What can you say about this hand? It just needs more help from Zananananan, or he's going to be in trouble.
No weapon removal available in this deck at all. So that Skull will be summoning this Doom Guard. Probably on turn 5.
Yeah, 9 rounds of Swiss is a long road when you lose in the first couple of rounds. We have seen it done, but...
I mean, there are some great players that already lost in round 1. Zixo is the one that we saw on stream. He's gone.
He's just dropped out and got a ladder, yeah.
Oh. Well, there you go.
He was so, I think, put out by that result.
Hunter Ace, I believe, was beaten by a member of Team UK.
Oh my goodness.
In round 1.
What's going on out there? I might have to start supporting our boys at this rate.
Not that Hunter Ace really...
And girls.
He doesn't need the points. He's good.
I think it was a late decision for him to even decide to come.
Yeah.
I think he was not sure either way, but a lot of the people do like hanging out at these events.
They
and
do.
These are... He didn't need the points from ladder or from the tournament, so come to the tournament, give yourself a chance of earning some more dollars and hang out with his friends. And he wasn't in Atlanta either, again, because he's got, I think, 240-something points. So I don't know what happens if he gets so many points that he can get, like, the 120 bonus for Masters and 3-star. Like, does he get 3-star plus bonus? I don't think that's how it works.
No, he was actually saying to me this morning, I was waiting for them to announce the 4-star Master. That's not gonna happen. So he's playing for the prize money, he's playing to support his team. That's what Hunter Ace is doing here.
And Zorkthar needs somebody to shout at.
He's got Cobain.
Oh, he's got Cobain here as well, yeah. So they can sort of split the workload of having Zorkthar shout at them.
Yeah.
I usually take some of it as well. If you're wondering why we're not talking about the game in progress, it's because the game in progress is waiting for things to happen.
I am surprised.
This is where things happen now.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Skull hasn't been played already. I wonder what Boarcontrol's reservation there is. Like, not coining it out last turn, for example. Maybe he's saving the coin for Gul'dan. Maybe he's saving the coin for a good Umbra turn. Maybe he's saving this Doom Guard for a good Umbra turn. Doom Guard if he can draw a cube, maybe.
Yeah, he's probably looking at what does he do next turn as well. Like, he's got quite a difficult decision to make, again, because all your cards cost 4, 5, and 6 when he goes into those middle turns.
Zanananan's face when he saw that weapon.
It's like, yeah, what was this thinking about? But the thinking is about the next turn. Like, Boarcontrol doesn't have a clear path of progression after this turn, so he might need a lot of time. Boarcontrol is a slow player.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got effectively 3 minutes for his turn 6 here. And that's one of the things he would have been worried about. What am I going to do? Am I okay if I have to face these? And the answer is, well, you've got Hellfire at least, and plenty of other options on top.
Oh, there's the cube as well. So he's got Umbra, Prince, and Cube all available in his hand, ready to go over the next few turns.
Yeah, I think this is cool, though. If he had Hellfired, then his Doom Guard would have been weak to quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Both Spellstones and Swipe included.
So this way makes it a bit more work for Zananananan, and he does get to keep his Hellfire. And that'll be what the think was about on the previous turn. You know, playing the Doom Guard into the Malfurion turn basically is a bit of an issue. But again, he's got Gul'dan again, so putting 2 Doom Guards into the pool instead of 1 with that cube is just planning for the future. This is where Togwaggle was never an attractive deck to me. I understand how good it is, don't get me wrong. But these turns where, do I do nothing? How good is nothing right now?
I mean, from next turn, Zananananan will have the option to play Naturalized Togwaggle and potentially force the deck swap.
Yep.
Does that win him the game, though? That's where this
Depends
gets really
on the hand, right? If your opponent's got the Gul'dan already, probably not.
But he can Azalina next turn and get his own Gul'dan, but that's not as good as Boarcontrol playing it.
It's not, although it depends again on the board state. Like, if you can get enough of a lead on board, it can become okay.
There's the second Doomguard. No Void Lord been summoned yet, so Boarcontrol might get that good result when he plays the Gul'dan of just a board full of Gul'dans. Of Doomguards even.
So Zananananan has got to work out now, because this twig pickup, I think he had a plan for what he wanted to do, but now the twig's been picked up. He's like, do I have 5 turns? How many circumstances do I have 5 turns in? The one where your opponent has Gul'dan isn't one of those. And again, the pressure is, the problem is you just cannot generate pressure. The Warlock's always going to have this card advantage over you. If you swap decks, it's rather a big sort of risk, and you can't do it right now anyway. So he has just to proceed with his normal game plan, and this is one of the issues with the Tog deck against decks like this, is you don't have much of a second route to victory. It's not like Mali Druid where you try and control the game and then suddenly change your mind and just kill them. And yeah, putting all the damage you can into Boarcontrol, just in case.
Dark Pact's not going to do all that much at the moment. The Prince and the Umbra are not going to do that much without a Death Rattle to combo with. Corpse Taker again, Ziliax has been drawn. It's just a 4-mana 3/3 taunt. It's a Taunt Man.
Taunt Man. It's actually Taunt Girl, right?
Taunt Woman.
Computing.
Yeah, and Boar has quite clearly played around Togwaggle Naturalized for the last couple of turns, and now he hasn't got the ability to do that with that tap.
It's so awkward because Zanananan's hero power alone would deal with the Corpse Taker. This is a play I was looking at, but again, just the hero power or the ultimate infestation makes short work of this. The Defile didn't really do all that much.
Yeah, I mean, the Defile was literally just a hand emptying exercise.
Yeah, that's right. The Defile's playing around Naturalized Tog, that's true.
Oh, if Boar can get through, this is pressure from Zananananan. He has really managed to get in there. Look at that double swipe lurking in hand as well. There's a lot of damage available here.
Boarcontrol, unlike the first 2 games where he got as much of
He's
the nuts
going
as
to
you
double
can possibly get.
Hellfire. Sorry to cut you off there. If he double Hellfires, he's dead.
Right, yeah. 12 damage exactly Zananananan would have, right? With the double swipe, the hero power, and the weapon.
Yeah.
Destroy.
Yeah, the last 2 games, Boarcontrol had like as much of the nuts as you can possibly have in Cube Warlock. This game just hasn't come together in the same way. Zananananan has been able to efficiently deal with all of the Doom Guards. He could Hellfire Spellstone, right?
Yeah.
Or this.
This is better, yeah. But he wanted to get this down with maybe the Prince as well. He didn't, but it was the thing he was looking at. So yeah, stays alive, and that's pretty good sidestep there. Or does he stay alive?
Barely. I think it's 1 off now. Double swipe to the face deals with the Ziliax, that's 8 damage. And then the weapon plus the hero power is another 4, so it's 12 total, plus 16. 16 with the minion as well. So yeah, 1 off.
But 1 off is quite a lot off.
Well, it's not exact, so yeah.
Because of the healing in Boar's hand, Boar has the potential to heal with the Spellstone, with the Dark Pact, with the Gul'dan. It's going to take a couple of turns to do so. Plus, you really don't want to burn that Naturalized, not killing your opponent.
In this situation, if Zananananan was to put Boarcontrol to 1, then
she's going to.
Then I think Boarcontrol can heal out of range. Because of the Spellstone, because of Gul'dan, and because of the fact Zananananan doesn't really have any pressure, the Spellstone will put Boarcontrol back up to 6, and then the weapon plus the hero power is 4 damage again, and then Boarcontrol can play Gul'dan, and he's safe. Sort of, just, barely.
He now can also Lackey Dark Pact.
Oh, that's better. That's better because of the Void Lords in the deck. It would be 100% a Void Lord, as both Doom Guards have been played already.
Which is fine as well.
Gul'dan is safe too, as long as he deals with the minion.
Which he can, because Doom Guards will do their thing.
I didn't realize there were 4 of them.
And I didn't realize there were 4 of them either, I've got to admit.
Where did the other 2 come from? Oh, he cubed one early on, of course.
Yeah, I mean, he must have, is the answer.
Yeah, he did. Cubed it on the turn his opponent played Malfurion with the spiders.
And Zananananan just has apparently too much to do here, as you would expect with this matchup.
It's too many nans.
No, that's correct.
You
Hit the
said
bod. Definitely correct.
Zananananan.
That's correct.
It's too many.
No, that's correct.
A tangled web.
Zananananan.
That's too many. Zananananan.
Well, I might be a caster, but I can count to 5 sometimes. Oh my goodness. Make it stop. I don't remember you like this, Dan. I can't bully him anymore, it's not fair.
All right, we can start hero powering, we can start spellstoning, he can even play librarian with the spellstone. Obviously, he should hero power before he does that, because he will die otherwise.
Yeah, and pretty much a formality as long as he keeps awake here. And one thing that Boarcontrol is very good at is just staying focused until he's won a Hearthstone game, of which he has done many times.
Yeah, I mean, how does Zananananan get through 9 health?
Yeah.
He just doesn't.
And rising. And, you know,
he does eventually.
That thing that his deck doesn't do it quick enough. And I think it's the only reason this deck, if anyone ever finds a way to tune this deck to just have some slight fight back capabilities, it's just going to be the best deck ever. In Tog.
Zanananan just drawing his cards and then dying. Oh, he's got the twig, of course.
Okay.
Just lethal.
Are we Mr. Lethal? It wouldn't surprise me.
It is just lethal. Okay,
wow.
How does he deal 8 damage? Like that. He draws the rest of his deck. He swaps decks. He plays 2 naturalizers. All right. That was fast.
I hadn't realized he was so far through. I should have, because the deck does rifle through the deck so quickly, but so Boarcontrol went incredibly low there in the turn where Zananananan got the 2 Tyrants down. Boar really, I think he played the best way out of it.
Yeah.
But
didn't quite heal out of range. What I didn't notice was that the twig was only 1 hit away, so he was able to draw his whole deck.
Yeah.
And then play the Tog and just double naturalize immediately.
That twig got work done quickly. He made that decision in a situation where, I mean, it's always obvious to play the twig, but it didn't look like he was going to have enough time.
It has to be said, it was just a very, very good spot by Zananananan. And now it's going to be the mirror-ish.
It's token, is it for Boar?
It's token, yeah. The mirror-ish. It's still a game of who can get the most ramp, who can do the most disgusting druid things quickly.
Yeah, Boar's trying to clear his head. I don't believe he made the same mistake that I made, but he may have. He looks really agitated, but then he always does when he loses.
Oh, he didn't look happy one bit, did he? He had his head in his hands. And there were more healing capabilities.
Yeah, he could have gone for the Dark Pact play, although he wanted to get the Gul'dan online really quickly to start healing for 3 every single turn.
Yeah.
But he just spotted. The problem with Boar is he's so good at reconstructing the last game, is he's found his way that he shouldn't have lost that game already, and now it's bothering him.
Yeah.
The key is worry about how you lost the last game later. But he sits there and worries about how he lost the last game straight away.
It does show that Zananananan is obviously an experienced Togwaggle Druid player, because Boar didn't spot the lethal, we didn't spot the lethal. But he did, and that's what matters.
And he's obviously an experienced player because he's got double Wild Growth, Nourish, and Ultimate Infestation in his hand. And that is something I cannot do when I play this deck.
That is also the mark of an experienced Hearthstone.
Exactly.
That's right.
Pay attention, class.
All right.
When Boar sees the Nourish, he may just have to play that Whispering Woods as quickly as he can and hope to get some damage done with a Savage Roar. I don't know, this is looking really rough for Boarcontrol already.
Yeah, it'll look rougher in his mind as well. Well, the swipe's obviously no fun, but he'll be scared about all the other defensive opportunities Druid has.
Zananananan, however, in this series, he's on the backswing. He won the deck that he thought was less favored.
Yeah.
Against the Q
I agree with him as well.
Yeah, but he got through just by the skin of his teeth.
And I think he's already working backwards from his 10 mana turn here into, I've got to get rid of so many cards between now and then. You know, how does the coin exactly work out? Do I just wild growth? Do I use my coin? But you probably want to be coining into the UI. So how do you get to 9 the most efficient way?
I guess this, and then Nourish Wild Growth next turn, and then Coin UI the turn after.
Yeah, he was just checking he could get through all the cards.
It's somewhat scary to leave that Violet Teacher alive.
Yeah, he's got the swipe back up with Hero Power if it comes to it.
Well, which he's now going to have to use, but the plan will have been to play Nourish Wild Growth this turn, then Coin Ultimate Infestation the turn after.
Yep.
But yeah.
Boar's eyes sank to the keyboard immediately there. The second card was picked up, he's like, that's too quick to be anything other than swipe. And just gonna spell stone away to teach. But Boarcontrol's not a million miles from his own UI here with the Innovate and the Wild Growth.
No, he's a few more miles away than Zananananan is. Getting the second Wild Growth is very helpful. He needs to play that Ultimate Infestation as soon as he can for his hand, and his deck really, to come together.
Yeah, everything. He needs the buffs for the woods, he needs the hand size for the woods. He can't afford to blow this woods because it's his second one, so got to make sure it sticks. It's like taking a chance on the first one. Sometimes you just win the game. Your second one's a lot more difficult to navigate.
Oh, that's helpful. It's only 4 Wisps this turn, so again, Boarcontrol probably going to have to wait past this turn, Coin UI next turn, and then Whispering Woods, Soul of the Forest the turn after. But a lot can change between now and then.
You ever notice how streamers just cannot stop themselves from giving away facial expressions because they get so used to doing it for the stream?
Boar is always so entertaining to watch, on stream, in tournaments, all the time.
Yeah, he's done a really good job of turning it all around as well for me. I feel like he wasn't always that way.
Oh, no.
But as soon as you finish uni and put the time into it properly, suddenly great streamer.
I think Boar has had one of the best years, one of the largest growing years, both as a person and as a Hearthstone player, I think, in the scene.
Yeah, I've said it every single tournament, and I'm going to say it again. I think he and Fino have done it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both had very similar weaknesses going into this year, and I think they've helped each other to tidy those weaknesses up.
Joined forces on Fade to Karma, and who knows where they'll be going next.
I think everybody
Possibly
knows.
with Orange.
I think everybody knows. Check out Phoenix Fusion's Twitter for hints. Philly Fusion before I get emails and threats and things.
Pheno's Fusion.
Right, so the game has become an actual game now, with both players having got to their UI phase and Boarcontrol having actually got the card he needs to win the game.
This game has become Zananananan. Do you have Spreading Plague?
It has, hasn't it? And if you do, how am I going to get? You've got to assume he has got it. He's got so many cards in hand, and it'd be ridiculous to assume he hasn't got it. You can beat a hand that has it, so let's find out how to beat that hand.
If there's no Spreading Plague, then Whispering Woods, Soul of the Forest, Power of the Wild just looks great.
So what he's got to do is check if it's great anyway, and he's decided, sure, like I get through it quickly enough with the Savage Roar.
With the Power of the Wild, I think specifically, now it's just really solid against Spreading Plague. He's got a swipe, he's got a branching paths or Savage Roar, as you said. If there's no Spreading Plague, then double Savage or Branching Paths probably just ends the game next turn. I've not done the maths, but it's a lot of damage.
A lot is usually a lot. The Druids do tend to get enough health that you have to hit them twice, but if you hit them once, you hit them twice. Like, they don't usually have a way to stop you. Once it gets rolling, they can throw roadblocks in the way, but those roadblocks don't actually deal with the problem.
I think the full amount of damage, if the quick math just under my head is right, is 58.
That's a lot of damage.
The double Savage, because it's 8 times 7, which is the board, and then the +2. Oh no, it's +4, it's 60. +4 from the hand with the 2 Savage rolls.
That's a lot of damage. It sounds right to me.
So 60 damage, but there's 2 taunts in the way.
And this is if there's a Spreading Plague, but one minion will go through each taunt quite comfortably. So you take off 16 only, so it's not lethal.
It leaves
but
44.
My goodness, it's a lot of damage.
It leaves 44, so yes, Lorinda, it's still a lot of damage. Okay, but then the minion dies, so now it's slightly less. But the face can go into the 3/4, so it's slightly more again. It's 40 now, I think.
If he wants to go for max, he may only want to go for the permanent buffs. No, he's just going to get the damage in while he's got the stuff. This makes sense.
This is the mistake that I believe was made during a game. One of the first games today was that a player had the opportunity to set his opponent to 1 with board buffs like Savage Roar and Branching Paths. Didn't. Would have won over the following few turns if he did do that. But because he didn't, he ended up losing that game.
So now getting as many permanent buffs in as possible, saving one of the Savage Roars so he can do the same thing again next turn with even more
This
minions.
is a really nice way of hedging. He's still got the swipe in his hand for that little bit of extra burst damage. He's still got this board. He's still with ridiculous amounts of damage on it. This is pretty strong against Spreading Plague as well.
Yeah, I mean, Spreading Plague is, he probably didn't have it last turn, so Spreading Plague is just, I kill your Spreading Plague and do it again.
Yeah.
Here we go. Exactly this situation.
If he can this turn, Zananananan digs for it with the Branching Paths if he's got it, for example. So it's worth playing around it, even if it wasn't there the turn before. But yeah, there it is, right on cue. Branching Paths, I guess, going to buff the attack so that they all trade evenly.
Yeah. Does make a mess of Boar's position.
It does, but it still leaves Boar with the 2/2s.
No way for him to really use his own Spreading Plagues particularly efficiently for him.
No, I don't think he can summon more than 1 this turn. Oh, no, yeah, just 1.
Yeah.
Even with the Treant that doesn't have the Death Rattle.
Of course, it trades anyway, cleanly. The noise they make.
He's going to summon it anyway, though. He's
I mean, why not?
He just top decked the first one. Chances of having the second one immediately, pretty low.
Yeah.
That's going to be lethal.
It's just going to be lethal. Exacties, I think. Well, you've got the swipe as well, so whatever.
Yeah.
The old coin innovate.
Even the Coin Innovate hero power. Oh, hang on. No, because it actually defeats one of the Treants. It's 22. It's still lethal. It
is still lethal. I was just checking we hadn't missed the one on the last swipe of the last swing of the weapon again, but we haven't. Boarcontrol takes it 3-1, and he is happy to get out of that one. He was quite excited after that first game, but beating himself up a little bit after game 3, got himself back together, got it done, and yeah, 2 friends shaking hands. These players have gone through a lot together this year.
They've become really good friends. A lot of the regular Hearthstone players that have been appearing at tour stops like Boarcontrol, like Zananananan, because they see each other every month. They go to these events, they see each other, they play against each other, they go for drinks afterwards together, they go for meals together. They're good friends now.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be locked in a room with people 4 days a month without getting to know them at least, so...
I wish you could be, believe me. Anyways, that is us done for the first series of this round of the Swiss. But we're going to be back with the second series very soon. We'll see you then.